There are four main issues that are most commonly found, and they're to do with how people live in a property and how they maintain a property. The first and most common is probably condensation. Modern living requires us to go off to work in the morning after taking a shower, having a cup of coffee, and putting a lot of moisture into the habitable spaces. Unless you're running an extract fan for probably 20 minutes after you've had your shower, and perhaps leaving some of the windows open or ensuring the trickle vents are open on the windows, then there's a build-up of condensation and moisture within the building, which then cannot escape during the time that you're at work. And quite often that will lead to condensation on windows, on walls, and quite often you'll see it on the tiles in the bathroom, which leads to that mould on your silicone around your bath. So that's probably the most common issue. The second is maintenance of gutters and downpipes. In Ireland, with such an amount of wet weather, we get build-ups of moss, leaves in the gutters. Quite often grass can be found growing in gutters, and that will then lead to overtopping of those gutters, water staining to the walls. And if you've got a property perhaps that hasn't got cavity walls, that can lead to water penetration problems. So maintaining gutters and downpipes is essential. The third one is probably flat roofs. Flat roofs only have a limited lifespan. 20 years probably is what you can expect from a typical flat roof. And unless you're making sure that that's kept clean of debris and is not being damaged in any way, then quite often you'll find that there's defects in flat roofs which are leading to water penetration problems. And the best thing then to do is to strip and relay that flat roof. Really not an expensive thing to deal with, but do make sure you keep on top of it. And then the final one is water penetration around windows and doors. Replacement windows and doors rely on a silicone sealant around the perimeter, and unless that isn't kept in good condition, water penetration can quite easily occur, and that causes damp staining around those windows and doors. So that's the four most common defects that we find when undertaking residential surveys.